Have you been to Siberia?
Yeah.
What's the vibe?
Bleak, freezing. Um, I've not been to Oymyakon yet, but I've been to the southern tip of that Yakut gap. It's called Yakutsk. And it goes down. When I was there, it was something like minus 37 or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
What does minus 37 feel like?
So, it's very strange. If once you're well wrapped up, the minuses don't matter anymore. It's only the part of you that's exposed, the eyes and the face that feel the cold. And there you have to wear goggles because, the moisture in your eyes will freeze and you'll get frostbite in your eyes. And you wear a mask much before COVID and all that started because your breath warms up the rest of your face. And how there were herders out there, the original Yakut people who have been nomadic cattle herders for the longest time. You never understand how people manage to live in that, but they do. Um, but yeah, it's exciting. I've never been to Oymyakon. I want to go to Oymyakon.
But is the energy of the land sad?
It's unforgiving.
Brutal.
It's brutal.
Hmm.
And I think that adds a lot to the Russian character. That, you have no natural defenses other than the cold. And so you've got to be extremely brutal to survive out there.
Bane's dialogue from Batman, I was born in the dark.
Like
That's how I look at
basically.
Russians.
Yeah.
They're born in such a brutal land.
But it also leads to great beauty. A Russian can outdrink you. He or she can have a lot more fun than you can. They have a great tradition of music and literature, great architecture. But for all that greatness, there's also a very deep, dark side to it.
In almost all the people's minds.
Not necessarily. There's these soft urban Russians now since the 60s when life wasn't so brutal anymore and the Stalinist repression had ended. But you do get hints of it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Putin has studied all these people in and out.
I'm sure he has.
But do you think that's the case with every world leader? Do you think even Modi's cabinet, Trump's cabinet, everyone is constantly studying recent world history? No?
Yeah.
But won't there be lessons to be learned?
There should be lessons to be learned. But I don't think Modi's cabinet studies anything outside of India, realistically, except in terms of finance or whatever. And in terms of the Trump cabinet, I think they have a very good hold on history, even though they are mocked and laughed at. I think they've picked out the distilled essence of history much better. There's this academic derision of people who are not validated by academia. What do you actually know? I know so much more than you because I've written 20 academic papers, peer-reviewed journal papers. And this is the classic, it's the emperor has no clothes. It took the stupid little boy to call out the emperor's stupidity when all the scholars in court were pretending that the emperor had clothes. Sometimes you don't need that much. And this is again that Salazar versus the failed economics professor versus the semi-literate general who did economics much better than the economics professor. Right? It's like that.
Perhaps what you truly need in order to stay in power for a very long time is brutality along with street smarts.
There's no one way. And see, this is the thing. This is how the left captures you. They want you to think that there is a template. There is one way of doing things. There is none. There's 100 different ways you can become a dictator. There's 100 different things you can do once you become a dictator. So Lee Kuan Yew was horrible in the initial stages, but after that, he used violence very sparingly. Once he consolidated power, he did not have you killed. He used to bankrupt you. So the Singapore parliament is the only parliament where you can be sued for what you say in parliament. And because of that, he would go after his enemies and he would bankrupt them financially. They'd have nothing else to do. I think that's a fairly civilized way to go about it, right?
How do you bankrupt someone?
You sue them for defamation.